Paul Molitor is one of the most iconic players in baseball history, but what if I told you that his career was almost wasted? The injuries, the personal battles, the unexpected downfall. Despite being a Hall of Famer, Paul Molitor's legacy isn't as spotless as you might think. This is the story of how a legend almost let it all slip away, and the remarkable journey that followed. Molitor's talent was undeniable from day one, but injuries and off-the-field demons nearly derailed what could have been an even greater career. Let's dive into how he fought through it all and what really went wrong in one of baseball's most complex stories. Paul Leo Molitor entered Major League Baseball with all the makings of a superstar. Drafted third overall by the Milwaukee Brewers in 1977, he made his debut just 1 year later as a middle infielder. His manager, George Bamberger, immediately recognized something special, praising Molitor's tremendous instincts and noting that he played like he'd been up here for years. But almost immediately, the injury bug that would define much of his career began to bite. Molitor developed what became known as a reputation for being susceptible to injuries. The list was staggering: a broken jaw from his college days, elbow problems that led to Tommy John surgery in 1984, and recurring hamstring issues that put him on the disabled list 6 times between 1980 and 1986. These weren't minor setbacks. Each injury threatened to derail a career that was clearly destined for greatness. The baseball world watched as this incredibly talented player spent more time in the trainer's room than many of his peers. But here's what made Molitor special. His response to adversity was extraordinary. Despite being limited to just 118 games in 1987 due to injuries, Molitor still managed to lead the American League in runs scored with 114 and doubles with 41, while maintaining a .353 batting average. In that same injury-shortened season, he captivated baseball fans with a remarkable 39-game hitting streak, the 7th longest in baseball history and the longest since Pete Rose's streak in 1978. But injuries weren't Molitor's only challenge. Behind the scenes, he was fighting a battle that threatened not just his career, but his life. In 1980, influenced by peer pressure and frustrated by his constant injuries, Molitor began using cocaine. What started as occasional use escalated into a serious addiction that reached its lowest point on Christmas Day 1980, when he was found passed out after a party heavily involving cocaine. This incident served as a wake-up call when his fiancée, Linda, issued an ultimatum to leave him. The personal crisis forced Molitor to confront the severe nature of his addiction, but the story was far from over. His private battle became public in 1984, when his name was mentioned in the trial of a prominent drug dealer, Anthony Peters. Federal court documents allege that Molitor and other players had purchased cocaine from Peters in 1981. The baseball commissioner's office had already initiated an investigation into cocaine use among Milwaukee Brewers players, and suddenly Molitor found himself at the center of a scandal that could have ended his career. When the Milwaukee Sentinel reported these allegations, Molitor offered no comment, but privately he was working to overcome his addiction. Despite the intense public scrutiny and potential for severe repercussions, Molitor successfully overcame his addiction. He reportedly negotiated immunity from prosecution, avoiding punishment from baseball authorities. More importantly, he attributed his recovery to his faith, stating, "I believe that God answered my prayers and gave me the strength to fight the addiction and finally to stop using cocaine." This journey from addiction to recovery, particularly under the glare of public attention, highlights a profound personal transformation. Rather than let this scandal define him negatively, Molitor used his experience as a platform for advocacy, delivering persuasive anti-substance abuse messages to young people later in his career. With his personal demons behind him, Molitor faced another career-defining challenge. His recurring injuries, particularly hamstring problems, made it increasingly difficult to play defense effectively. This led to a strategic transition that would extend his career and showcase his baseball intelligence. In the late 1980s, Molitor began transitioning to the designated hitter role, becoming a full-time DH in the 1990s. This wasn't a reflection of poor fielding ability. It was a deliberate tactical adjustment to keep him healthy and productive. The move proved brilliant, enabling him to remain on the field more consistently and effectively, extending his career. Speaking of watching great baseball performances, nothing beats catching every moment of the action live. That's where Fubo comes in, the ultimate streaming platform for sports fans who don't want to miss a single play. With Fubo, you get access to all the major networks broadcasting MLB games, plus a ton of other sports content. Whether you're following current stars or wanting to catch classic games that showcase legends like Molitor, Fubo has you covered. And right now, you can try it free for 7 days. Perfect timing for baseball season. The strategic move to designated hitter paid off in spectacular fashion. Molitor's 21-season career culminated in statistics that placed him among baseball's all-time elite. 3,319 hits, 234 home runs, 1,307 RBIs, 1,782 runs scored, and 504 stolen bases with a lifetime batting average of .306. A significant milestone came in 1996 when he achieved his 3,000th career hit with a triple, becoming the first player ever to reach this mark with a three-bagger. Remarkably, in that same year, he became the only player to lead the league in hits during the season he reached the 3,000 hit plateau. At age 40, Molitor batted .341, collected 113 RBIs, and led the league with 225 hits, making him the first 40-year-old since Sam Rice in 1930 to record 200 hits in a single season. In pursuit of a championship, Molitor signed with the Toronto Blue Jays as a free agent in 1993. This move proved to be a masterstroke. At 37 years old, he made history by becoming the oldest player in Major League history to record his first 100 RBI season. More importantly, he was pivotal in the Blue Jays' 1993 World Series victory, earning MVP honors with an astounding .500 batting average, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. After concluding his playing career, Molitor transitioned into coaching and management roles. He served in various capacities with the Minnesota Twins organization before accepting the managerial role for his hometown team in November 2014. The pinnacle of Molitor's managerial career arrived in 2017 when he was awarded the American League Manager of the Year award. He guided the Twins to a surprising 85-77 record, securing a wildcard berth. This achievement was particularly noteworthy as the Twins became the first team in Major League history to reach the playoffs following a 100-loss season the previous year. But then came 2018, and everything changed. Despite earning Manager of the Year honors just 1 season earlier, Molitor was fired after the Twins finished with a disappointing 78-84 record. The decision shocked many, including Molitor himself. The reasons given by Twins executives were revealing. They cited not being their guy. The new front office had inherited Molitor and envisioned a different managerial style. They also mentioned wanting a manager well-versed in analytics and noted a perceived lack of growth and development within the team. However, the analytics argument appears questionable when examined closely. Under Molitor's leadership, the Twins were actually among the more forward-thinking teams in baseball. They significantly increased their utilization of defensive shifts and embraced modern strategies like the opener concept, despite Molitor's playing background in an era dominated by complete games. Rather than step away from baseball entirely, Molitor chose to continue contributing to the game. Following his departure as manager, he rejoined the Minnesota Twins organization as a special assistant in baseball operations. In this role, he assists with minor league instruction and player development, while also joining the Twins radio broadcast team for select games. Paul Molitor's narrative represents one of baseball's most compelling stories of resilience and redemption. From an injury-prone young player to a cocaine-addicted athlete facing public scandal, to a strategic career transition, World Series MVP, Hall of Fame induction, managerial success, unexpected firing, and continued contribution to the game. His journey exemplifies perseverance at every turn. What makes Molitor's story particularly powerful is how he transformed each potential career-ending obstacle into a stepping stone. His injuries led to the strategic move to designated hitter that extended his career. His addiction battle became a platform for helping others. His managerial firing didn't end his baseball involvement, but redirected it toward player development and mentorship. In 2004, Paul Molitor's consistent excellence and remarkable achievements culminated in his induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame on his first ballot. Today, as he continues working with young players in the Twins organization, Molitor stands as more than just a Hall of Fame player. He's a multifaceted baseball icon whose journey exemplifies that true success isn't measured only by what you achieve, but by how you respond when everything seems lost. Paul Molitor didn't waste his career. He maximized it despite circumstances that could have destroyed it, creating a legacy that extends far beyond the baseball diamond.